hit us much harder than it had to. We have just 4% of the world's population, 25% of the world's COVID cases. Our unemployment rate is more than twice as high as South Korea's, 2.5 times the United Kingdom, more than 3 times Japan's. Donald Trump says we're leading the world. Well, we are the only major industrial economy to have its unemployment rate triple. At a time like this, the only office should...
Hey, by the way, let me remind Bill Clinton, as he says this about COVID, that travel bans, subsequent travel bans, and quarantine for 50 years, that was Trump, because your party was busy impeaching him. It wasn't Donald Trump, it was your Democratic friends that put COVID patients and ignored the beds that Trump built, converted to COVID-19, man with all the PPE. He built them. Not his fault that, well, dopes like Cuomo and Murphy and Wolf didn't use the hospital beds Trump built. No, they said COVID-19. AP says today 11,000 people just died because of that. But we digress. Let's go back to, well, ever thoughtful Bill.
Respond to any of that. To beat it, you've got to actually go to work and deal with the facts. Our party is united in offering you a very different choice. A go-to-work president. A down-to-earth, get-the-job done guy. A man with a mission to take responsibility, not shift the blame. Concentrate, not distract. Unite, not divide. Our choice is Joe Biden. Joe helped bring us back from a recession before, and he can do it again. In 2009, Barack Obama and Joe Biden started with the worst economy since the Great Depression. And when they were done, they delivered more than 6 straight years of job growth. What did Joe do? He accepted responsibility for implementing the Recovery Act. His work created a lot of new jobs and started many new companies in communities across our country. Now Joe's committed to building America back again. How? He's given us a smart, detailed plan to invest in areas vital to our future. Innovative financing for modern factories and small businesses. Good jobs in green energy and conservation to combat climate change. A modern infrastructure that brings small town...
By the way, Bill Clinton, there he goes lying again, because after 8 years, Biden and Obama, Barack and Joe, 13 million more Americans food stamps, 8 million more poverty, lowest labor participation rate since the 70s, worst recovery since the 40s, lowest home ownership rate in 51 years, and accumulated more debt than all 43 presidents, including him, 4 of them combined. Back to Bill. I have a monologue in a second.
Better for families working and raising their kids. Better for people who lost jobs and need new ones. Better for farmers tired of being collateral damage in trade wars. Better for workers caring for the sick, elderly, and people with disabilities. Better because of the living wage and access to affordable higher education and health care, including prescription drugs. And to child care, a secure retirement, and for the first time, paid family and medical leave. Joe won't just put his signature on a check and try to fool you into thinking it came from him. He'll work to make sure that your paycheck reflects your contribution to and your stake in a growing economy. In this job interview, the difference is stark. You know what Donald Trump will do with 4 more years? Blame, bully, and belittle. And you know what Joe Biden will do? Build back better. It's Trump's us versus them America against Joe Biden's America, where we all live and work together. It's a clear choice. The future of our country is riding on it. Thank you.
We're going to go back to Senator Kennedy in just a moment, but first, let me set the record straight. Remember, 13 million more Americans, food stamps, 8 million more in poverty, lowest labor participation rate, and they're the ones that dumped $150 billion in cash and other currency on the tarmac of Mullahs that chance that to America. Bill Clinton, you got to remember, the Democratic Party you're talking to tonight, well, the DNC, totally, completely unrecognizable from your views not that long ago. Bill Clinton would never survive as a candidate today. That's a fact. Bill Clinton worked across the aisle, what? End of welfare as we know it. The era of big government is over. By the way, are you really going to make the case, Bill, that in fact Obamacare promises were kept? Because they weren't. He supported a border wall. Bill Clinton supported deporting illegal immigrants. Bill Clinton signed the now infamous Clinton crime bill. You know, that's when Joe mentioned predators and stuff like that. That contributed to the mass incarceration of minorities in this country. Joe Biden supported and championed Don't forget Clinton praised. Oh yeah, like Clinton, Biden, let's see, Hillary, Pelosi, and Schumer, they all praised the former Klansman, Robert KKK Byrd, the guy that filibustered the Civil Rights Act and was against the Voting Rights Act. Bill Clinton's mentor, his name you might not know, his name was J. William Fulbright, a known segregationist. And now today, things got even worse for Clinton's tarnished legacy. Never before seen pictures. Go watch thedailymail.com. We'll take a look there. Showing Clinton getting a massage from a victim of Jeffrey Epstein back in 2002 while he was on a trip on the Lolita Express with Epstein to Africa. So, Bill, you can save us the lectures and the lies, which you're known for, and the fact that you're still being celebrated by the Democratic Party, that's mass hypocrisy too. Continue. I'm going to give the final word to Senator Kennedy. Senator, I just felt compelled to tell the truth.
Well, actually, Sean, I don't mean to disrespect him. He was President of the United States. But I was very surprised that they kept President Clinton on the schedule. I mean, I don't know what this means. Does this mean we're not doing Me Too anymore, or that it's just suspended for the night? I hope not. I think we also know, and again, I don't mean disrespect, but President Clinton has how shall I put it? He's very selective in the reality that he accepts.
That's well said. Senator, thank you as always for being with us, and we appreciate your commentary as always. All right, we have more developments tonight in our quest for equal justice. Senate Intel Committee released the final installment of the Russia investigation, confirming we have been telling you for over 3 years there was no Trump-Russia collusion ever. Comey's FBI relied on the fake, phony, bought, and paid for Russian disinformation dossier. Hillary, Bill's wife, paid for that. Carter Page denying him his civil liberties and constitutional rights. The one and only Carter Page. You know, Carter, Klein-Smith is just the beginning. If there is justice, premeditated fraud on a FISA court, only the tip of the iceberg.
You're absolutely right, Sean. And, you know, as we had two giants talking just now with Senator Cruz and Senator Kennedy, and it was amazing because they had just really grilled Sally Yates a couple of weeks ago. And if you look, unfortunately, yes, there's a lot of obvious statements in the Senate intelligence report, but really Senator Burr, the disgraced former chairman, he ended up just stepping down from that because, you know, there were so many unanswered questions and it's just an incomplete job. So, you know, we really need to be much tougher, and I'm greatly grateful to the Senate Judiciary and everything they've done to help reestablish the rule of law in our country because, you know, and as in the bottom of your screen, they had Sally Yates speaking at the DNC after getting disgraced in front of the Senate Judiciary Committee and, you know, talking about the weaponizing the justice system, which is exactly what she did against President Trump and myself.
I want to tell everybody, I'm going to go to the 1 minute of Ocasio-Cortez. I'm going to quickly tell everybody about your book in a second. She gets 1 minute. This ought to be entertainment. It's interesting they want to hide the 1 minute of Ocasio-Cortez. I was told to get there. What is the title of your book? Quick.
Abuse and Power. Sure.
No, tell the full title. What's the full title of the book? Don't tell me you forgot. I'll put you on the spot. How they did this to her coup. All right, Ocasio-Cortez, I gotta go.
Yeah.
Today, endeavoring towards a better, more just future for our country and our world. In fidelity and gratitude to a mass people's movement working to establish 21st century social, economic, and human rights, including guaranteed health care, higher education, living wages, and labor rights for all people in the United States. A movement striving to recognize and repair the wounds of racial injustice, colonization, misogyny, and homophobia, and to propose and build reimagined systems of immigration and foreign policy that turn away from the violence and xenophobia of our past. A movement that realizes the unsustainable brutality of an economy that rewards explosive inequalities of wealth for the few at the expense of long-term stability for the many, and who organized a historic grassroots campaign to reclaim our democracy. In a time when millions of people in the United States are looking for deep, systemic solutions to our crises of mass evictions, unemployment, and lack of health care, in el espíritu del pueblo and out of a love for all people, I hereby second the nomination of Senator Bernard Sanders of Vermont for President of the United States of America.
Wow. Did I hear that right? By the way, Carter's full book title is Abuse of and Power, How an Innocent American Was Framed in an Attempted Coup Against the President. All right, here was reaction to that. Now, I had to write it down, and I didn't get it all. Did she just say second the nomination for Bolshevik Bernie? Did I hear that right? Ari Fleischer? Because she talked about, let's see.
I think what she's.
What's that?
I think what she said is second the nomination of Bernard Sanders. I think Bernie put Biden's name in her nomination sheet.
Okay, all right.
I think that's what she said.
I had a hard time hearing it. Forgive me.
I heard something else, Sean.
What did you hear?
I heard something else, and everybody needs to pay careful attention. It matches the exact language in her Green New Deal resolution. She talks about guaranteed health care, guaranteed college, guaranteed job with paid vacation for all people of the United States. Not for Americans, not for citizens. She is including illegals to get a guaranteed job with paid vacation and all the other benefits that Americans have to struggle to get. Pay very careful attention to her literal words. No congressional resolution talks about the people of the United States. It talks about citizens. She doesn't. You just heard it. That's how radical she is. Come over the border illegally this morning, you should get a guaranteed job with paid vacation. Tell that to struggling, middle income, blue collar, working Americans.
And the pledge for trillions in new taxes. You know, I'm trying to write it all down. Free health care, as you rightly point out, that would include illegal immigrants, guaranteed wage, guaranteed college, guaranteed redistribution, then of course, you know, open borders and everything else that is going to be free, and we're, you know.
And then you get to the environmental radicalism. I mean, that's just the economic radicalism. Then you get to the environmental radicalism, getting rid of fossil fuels entirely. That's who she is, and she's putting the pressure on Joe Biden. Biden endorsed much of her Green New Deal. He's heading in the Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez direction. He is not heading in the moderate direction.
There's never been a major party ticket this radical. There's a reason she got a minute. Now, she got it all in as much as she can get it in a minute. I'm going to give her credit for that. But she says it. They're trying to hide most of that. That's why she didn't get more than a minute. I'm sure they're like choking on the minute she gave because she's revealing the truth about what they're going to do. Now remember, Biden has supported trillions of dollars for her new Green Deal and madness, including getting rid of the lifeblood of the world's economy. So the question is that America, are they going to buy these promises? It's unfulfillable. It is something you cannot, the math, you don't need to be a Harvard or MIT scholar to add up 94 trillion, 52 trillion, 10 years, and you only may take in 4.5 trillion. Not that hard to figure out. Simple math, Ari.
Yeah. And this is Donald Trump's task now, and the job of the Republicans next week in their convention. Republicans have got to shine a powerful light on how bad these Democratic policies are. They need to shine a light on how weak Joe Biden is, how bad the policies are, and how radical left the Democrat Party has shifted. And keep it simple to those three themes. If they do that, Donald Trump will have a very successful convention. The Democrats want to only talk about empathy and President Trump's character. Republicans need to talk about Biden's weakness, how radical left they are, and that's the winning ticket for Republicans.
And there's also something else to talk about. I watched Bernie Sanders last night. I'll be honest, thought he has the most energy, the most passion. He's a year older than Biden. Okay, by the way, there's the roll call that's going on. But I'm watching this, and I'm thinking, okay, everyone that I know and meets me asks me. They're talking about He's lost a fastball if he ever had a fastball. We played a little bit of the RNC ad saying Joe then, Joe now. Let's just say he looks weak, frail. He certainly doesn't seem to have the strength and stamina that he once did. This is the hardest job in the world. You know you were there. And so my question to you is, everybody I know is talking about it privately. Very few are willing to say, raise the question that they raised about Ronald Reagan in '84.
I think I gotta go with that.
2008. Is it
I think I gotta go
fair
with that.
question?
I think you do
Think
too,
it
you
is.
look terrible.
Yeah.
It's 100%
Come on, Pumpkin.
fair. It's what
It's
working
nighttime.
journalists
I like
used to
these
do
two
for a living. I don't know
yards.
that they'll do
Oh.
it anymore. Maybe David Muir asked some hard questions when he has an interview.
Good night, guys.
But look, Sean,
Night.
we all know how brutally difficult, hard, grinding,
Love you,
pressure-filled,
little
physically
guy.
demanding it is
For you,
to be
Pops.
president. And
Come
you
on,
really can't
get
have
up there.
a president
Hang on.
who takes a
I ain't hanging out.
60 minutes
Well,
in that
hang
job.
on.
Come on, that's my phone.
Please,
Comes across
just hang
as
on.
that guy. And something
No.
Hang on. I'm trying to do something.
What should they do?
Top things next week have got to be defining the difference between Trump, who delivered on economic prosperity, growth, and peace abroad, freedom at home, with Joe Biden, who's weak, whose ideas are radical. It's that simple.
All right, Ari Fleischer, thank you as always. All right, by the way, let's just dip in. I'll just do a show. This is the DNC roll call to officially nominate Joe Biden. It'll be done just to give you an idea of what this means. You go state by state, and just to listen in, just to hear what's happening.
We proudly cast 11 votes for our next president of the United States of America, Joe.
Okay.